soccer fans, and welcome to Varsity Field here in Swampscott. Tonight is the soccer team's senior night, and we're going to get right into the festivities right now. First up, we have number 14, Matt Bailey, and his folks, Adam and Meredith, his brother and sister, Mia and Austin, and Evelyn and Fred Greco, his grandparents. Next up we have number 23, Makita Bush, and his folks over in London. Next up we have number 9, Nick Danilov, and his parents, Alexander News and Stan Danilov. Next up we have number 19, Francisco Geraldo Velez, and his parents, Alejandrina Velez Villa and Amilcar Geraldo, and his brother, Millie Geraldo. Next up we have number 27, Matt Pittman, and his parents, Ella and Ben, and his brothers and sister, Ted, Conrad, and Isabella. Next up we have number 21, Costa Shove, and his parents, Dimitri and Olga. Next up we have number 15, Daniel Wagner, and his folks, Asher and Julie. Next up we have number 10, Max Arundano, captain, and his aunt Michael, Zelda Bliss, and Fritz family. Next up we have James Kimbrough, number 17, captain, and his parents, David Kimbrough and Randall Hughes, his sister Lillian, and his good friend Tyler Sanders. Next up we have number 11, Jack Raymond, captain, and his parents, Martha and Rich, and his grandparents, Barbara and Tom Key. Next up we have number 1, Charlie Olberg, captain, and his parents, Jamie and Jason, and his sister, Cecily. How about a nice round of applause for all of our soccer 2024 seniors. Thank you for your years of dedication and hard work. Congratulations.
first period of action almost underway. As we all know, Olberg, he definitely had the grade of the season, having multiple saves over numerous games. I believe he has almost over 100 saves, possibly more. I may be wrong.
I mean, it wouldn't be too hard for Olberg to assume that he would have over 100 saves, seeing as how in most of his games he gets surplus of 13.
And with that, the Big Blue are in formation, and a couple seconds away from the beginning of a great matchup here tonight under the stars. Actually, under the lights, I don't see no stars anywhere. And with that, we're going to be underway in a couple seconds. Starting off with the ball is going to be Swampscott over to Danilov. Danilov over to Rendono. Straight away to Shub. Shub finds his way over to Pittman. Pittman starting with the first line tonight as a pass over to Spelios, bringing it way down. Taken away by Madelone. Goes out of play off of Winthrop. As Raymond has the ball for Swampscott, passing it down. Actually, that's going to be passed over to Jack Raymond, over to Costa Shub. That's actually going to be Henry Pittman down at the other side of the field. Taken away by Winthrop. Winthrop still with possession of the ball, trying to bring it down to the Swampscott end. It goes out of play. And it's going to stay with Winthrop. As Madelon throws it in for Winthrop. Swampscott trying to keep it in, goes over the fence. Winthrop keeps it in Swampscott's defensive zone. As still trying to find a person to pass it to. Madelon gets it, header off, goes over the fence once again. Winthrop keeps the balls. Winthrop throwing the ball right back in off the head of Raymond. Over to Spelios. Poked away. Excuse me, actually that's going to be kicked out by Balasika. Swampscott with the throw and over to what it was looked like going over to Spelios gets taken away by Winthrop. Winthrop still having possession of the ball right on the Swampscott defensive line. Going over past to Olberg with the save. Olberg's first of the night. And with that, a pass over to Shub, goes over to Kimbrough, gets taken right back by Winthrop. Shub with the possession of the ball for Swampscott, trying to keep it inside center field. Gets away, goes over to Pittman. Ball is out of play on Winthrop. Swampscott keeps the ball entering their own zone. Joey, it's definitely so far back and forth, but still, it's going to be a great game as both almost had opportunities to score.
Seeing an opportunity to score so early on can be bad for either side of the team, as it could be deprivative to their motivation and self-confidence. We haven't
as Raymond with the ball, sorry to interrupt you, Joey. Raymond with the ball, bringing it down inside Winthrop territory. He's rushing. Another shot gets blocked off a high pop-up off the head of Danilov. And ball goes out of play. Winthrop, it goes off of Winthrop, passed in by Raymond over to Rendono. Picked off by Winthrop, off the head of Pittman. Back over to Rendono, over to Kimbrough. Kimbrough using his feet to get away from. Passed over to Shub. Shub trying to find an open teammate. Finds Borsch. Borsch finds Francisco. Winthrop takes it away down the back line. Down in center field, trying to get it through. Trying to fight it with Raymond. Raymond pokes it away, goes out of play. Winthrop has the ball. Winthrop with the throw in, still trying to find their first goal of the night as we're a little over 5 minutes in. And it's going to be Spellers with a heavy kick, bringing it down into the zone, taken right back by Winthrop in their own end. This pass goes straight to Shub. Shub trying to keep possession away from Winthrop as passed over to Raymond. Raymond over to Rendono. Rendono with a light pass back to Raymond. Raymond playing a little game of catch with Rendono. It's back and forth with Raymond and Rendono. Whistle is blown. It goes off the leg of Raymond, and Winthrop has the ball.
As you may have noticed, many or just a few of the players have dyed their hairs blonde for the senior night. It is a tradition that has gone in Swampscott for almost every senior night that has been soccer related.
And it's not just soccer, it's been with other sports as well. And with that, the ball goes off of Raymond once again. Winthrop has the ball further down, nearing center field. And then an attempted pass going down the line off the leg of Winthrop's number 10. It's going to be off of Rodriguez. Swampscott with the ball. Raymond with the throw in. Off the head of Daniloff. Back to Winthrop. Winthrop and Shub trying to fight for it. Raymond helps, but gets right back over to Winthrop. Winthrop bringing it down, trying to get it far into the zone. Raymond and Basefer fighting for the ball. Whistle is blown out of play. And with that, it's going to go over to Daniloff. And Oberg with the light pass over to Raymond as we enter a little bit over the 7th minute of the game. Ahead is straight to Winthrop, goes over to Rendono. Rendono trying to fake the players. Is successful, passed over to Daniloff. Daniloff passed over to Shub. Pittman with the kick. And it goes over both fences into the other field. And with that, Winthrop is going to have the ball. And with that, Winthrop with the throw in, a great header by Cardona.
As we're going to be seeing the players move up now, we can see Arredondo looking for a player to pitch it to. He gives it over to Shub. Shub's able to get the ball over to no other player other than Arredondo, back to Shub.
And thank you, Joey, as communications went down for a second. It's going to be a far pass. Over, and with the shot goes a little bit wide, almost to the wrong goal. And with that, Winthrop is going to have the ball in their own end. Still 0-0 as we enter 24 seconds over the 8th minute of this game. Still tied.
So whistle's going to be blown here. We're going to be seeing a kick here from the goalie.
I believe the goalie is going to be De Oliveira. Sorry if I'm mistaken if it's the wrong person. Goaltender with the high kick off the header, Shub. Rendono fighting for the ball with Winthrop is successful. Winthrop taking it right back. Rendono fighting for it near center field. Rendono trying to look for an open teammate. Finds Shub, a successful pass. And with that, Shub, a pass over to Raymond. Raymond with the pass over to Bailey. Bailey back over to Kimbrough. Kimbrough back over to Bailey. Poked away. Winthrop has the advantage. Whistle is blown. I believe offsides. And it's going to be offsides on. I'm not sure if that is offsides, but it's going to be Swampscott ball with Raymond. Raymond with the kick over to Rendono. Rendono with a high pop-up kick. Goes a little bit far off the header. And with that, it's going to be off of Winthrop. And it's going to be a corner kick for Swampscott. And with that, going to be thrown right back in. Rendono looking for a high shot. Goes a little bit over, hits a crossbar of another net, but not the one we're looking for. As we're 10 minutes in, still 0-0.
As the goalie is going to be taking the ball now, we're going to be seeing him kick it off as he's going to be looking for someone. As the ball's off and it's over, we see Kimbrough, the intended target, steal it away.
And with that, a pass over to Shub, with the pass from Raymond to Shub, as Winthrop fights to take it back. Raymond with the steal off the leg of Winthrop, out of bounds. Swampscott has the ball. And with that, it's going to be out on Winthrop. Raymond with the ball, looking for a person to throw it to. And with that, it's going to go over Shub's head, as it looks like it was going to be a pass to him. Goes over to Wabno, gets taken away by Winthrop. Almost goes out of bounds on Swampscott. Raymond's there to keep it in. Raymond with the high kick, goes to look, gets the goalie to go out, but is saved by Winthrop's goalie. As Danilov was there to try to get a little cheeky goal there. Ball is back up in the air, a header from Pittman. Excuse me, that's actually going to be Kimbrough with the header. Bailey trying to fight for the ball, gets a high kick from Raymond. Off the head of Winthrop. Arendono with the ball. Fighting for it, finds Kimbrough. Kimbrough still trying to keep possession of the ball. Arendono with the high kick. Off the head, he goes off to the side. And that's going to be out of bounds, I believe, on Winthrop. And with that, it's going to be a kick from the goalie as it went off of Swampscott. And it's going to be passed over to Muja. Muja fighting with, excuse me, that's going to be a fighting with Wabno for the ball. Ball goes out of bounds on Muja. And Swampscott has the ball in Winthrop's own end. Raymond with the throw in straight to Shub, wasting no time whatsoever. Back to Raymond. And with that's going to be passed from Shub way downtown. And it's going to go past. And it's Danilov with the shot, goes off and is saved by Winthrop's goalie. What a great attempt from Danilov, as sadly it doesn't go in. And that's Swampscott. Winthrop still trying to fight for the ball. A kick from Spelios. And a low pass from Pittman, fighting for the ball at center field. It's actually going to be Spelios with the ball, trying to keep it back in play. Successful. And it's going to be Kimbrough with the high kick. Danilov in the end, off the head of Winthrop. Goes straight to Rendono. Rendono trying to find an open teammate. Finds him, finds Spelios. Spelios still fighting for the ball. And it's going to be a high kick from Kimbrough. With that, it goes off to the side a little bit. Not being able to go. And it's going to be Wabno trying to fight for it. Is successful with a pass from Danilov over to Raymond. Raymond with the help from Pittman. Winthrop still with possession of the ball in their own end. Pass over to Raymond. Raymond with the high kick going near the net. Picked up by Winthrop's goalie. As we're a little over 13 minutes into the first period, still 0-0. Winthrop's goalie with the high kick, a great header from Raymond, a header from Danilov. Winthrop fighting for the ball in their own end, trying to get it out of their own zone. Gets it to center, gets it to gets it to the 50-yard line. Whistle is blown as it's out on Winthrop. Raymond with the throw in instantly over to Rendono. Rendono fighting for it. He has two defensemen on him, trying to get the ball away. As with help from Spelios. Over to Rendono, gets it poked away. Whistle is blown. Not sure what the call is on, as I believe it's going to be Winthrop's ball in their own end, as we just entered the 14th minute of the first half. And it's going to be kicked in by Texeria. And it's going to be Rendono poking away for Swampscott. Picked back up by Rodriguez. Rendono trying to fight for the ball. Shub. Actually, it's Shub trying to rush for it, but Raymond's a little bit faster to get it to him. And it's going to be a pass to Shub. Over to Pittman. Pittman with the pass over to Simon Ramos. Goes straight over to Winthrop. Winthrop with the heavy kick to get it out of the zone into Swampscott territory. Picked up by Olberg. Olberg's 5th of the night. And with that, Olberg with the high kick. Goes over to Kimbrough. Kimbrough, way to get it out of there. Fighting for it at center field. And it's going to be Ramos with the heavy kick to get it into the zone. Daniloff running, trying to get it to. It gets a foot on it, gets it, goes the wrong way, picked. Spelios trying to fight for the ball in the corner. Whistle is blown. The ball goes out of play. And both teams are going to sub out some players for. As it's still a scoreless half, 0-0, as we're about to enter the 16th minute. And it's going to be the tender with the ball. Winthrop's goalie. A great header by Arredondo. A kick from Winthrop gets it out of the zone. And it's going to be a high kick from Shub, trying to get it out of there. And a pass over to Muja. Muja trying to get the ball down to Swampscott territory. It finds Barasofer. Raymond fighting for the ball, gets it for Swampscott. Try to get it poked away. Kimbrough with the poke. It's going to be Saucin with the pass over to Rendono. Rendono passed over to Spelios. And it goes out of play. Winthrop has the ball. And with that thrown from Winthrop, goes right back out of, actually it's going to stay in as it looked like it went out of play. Winthrop fighting for the ball, trying to get it out of there. Is successful. A great header from Simon Ramos. It's going to be picked up by Rendono. Winthrop gets it out of there. Swampscott will start with the ball. Raymond throwing it in instantly. Past Spelios over to Saucin. Pass to Spelios. Spelios still trying to find an open way to get the ball through. Gets poked away by O'Mara. And it's going to be poked away by Winthrop. As it's going to go off, I believe, the legs. It is going to go off the legs of Muja. Swampscott still has possession of the ball at center field. As a pass from Raymond over the Shub goes unsuccessful as it goes back over to Muja. Muja trying to get the ball. Goes straight over to Bailey. Gets poked away. Goes over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez trying to fight for the ball. Is unsuccessful as it's picked up by Bailey. Ball goes out of play. Whistle is blown. And it's going to be, I believe, a corner kick from Winthrop. As the officials say, it's going to be a throw-in from Swampscott by Raymond. Raymond with the throw-in, trying to get it to a teammate, goes right back out off of Winthrop. Swampscott going to throw it right back in with Raymond. Raymond with the throw-in, a header from Winthrop. Goes right back to Raymond as they're saying redo. Pass from Kimbrough over to Rendono. Back over to Shub. Shub with the ball. Shub trying to find an open teammate, finds a Rendono. Rendono with the high kick and it curves. Almost gets behind the goaltender, unsuccessful as the goaltender gets the hands on it. And with that is going to go right back out towards center field. A header from Raymond to keep it in Swampscott's possession. The pass from Pittman over to Raymond. As the pass goes over to Arredondo. And it's going to go, it is going to be an attempt to pass over to Wabno. Wabno saves it from going out. And a pass from Wabno goes a little bit far. As an attempted shot from Pittman, excuse me, that's actually going to be Wabno. Whistle is blown. It's just going to be Winthrop's ball. And it's going to be a kick in from Textieria. Swampscott with possession of the ball over with Wabno. Gets it poked away. A header from Raymond. Going back over to Wabno. Gets stolen by Yeps. It's actually going to be Baysulfur. Spelio's fighting for the ball in the deep end. Oh, it's out of play off of. It's going to be off of Swampscott. Excuse me, it's actually going to be off of Winthrop. Swampscott will have the throw in. And it's going to be Simon Ramos with the throw in for Swampscott. Finds Spelios. And another tip back over to Ramos. Ball goes out of play off of Winthrop. Once again, Ramos is going to have another shot with the throw in. It's going to be successful. Ramos with another kick. It goes right back off of Winthrop. Winthrop keeping it out of play. As Simon Ramos is going to fight for it, trying to keep it in. Finds Pittman. Finds Bailey. Bailey with possession of the ball. Goes over to Henry Ramos. Brother Simon Ramos. Back over to Bailey. Bailey back over to Henry. Henry with the attempt to pass over to Shub. Unsuccessful as it gets over to Rodriguez. And it's going to be stolen away from Swampscott over to Pittman. Then with the help from Spelios. Spelios with trying to attempt his shot. Can't find it. So it goes over to Raymond trying to get it out of the zone. Whistle is blown. It's going to be brought in from number 5, Kai Faber for Winthrop, as it's going to go right back down to where they started, and now to center field where it's going to be taken away by Kimbrough. Brought back to Winthrop, and it's going to be Bailey with another high kick, and it's going to go over to Rendono. Winthrop with another steal, going over to Henry Ramos. Over to Pittman. It's back and forth. They're staying in this one spot. It's going to be a Rendono with the kick with the help from Raymond. Back over to Shub. Gets poked away in that last second. Picked up by Pittman. Pittman with the pass over to Simon Ramos. Simon Ramos with the kick. And it's going to go back out. And with that, Swampscott's going to have another throw in with wasting no time. Goes right back out off of Winthrop. Swampscott will start right back where they were. As it's going to be Simon Ramos with another throw-in for Swampscott. After 2 times it goes off the leg of Winthrop. And it's going to go over to Sawson. Back over to Ramos. Caught by Winthrop's goalie. As we're in the 23rd minute of the half. Still 0-0. Winthrop's goalie with a high kick. Entering Swampscott's zone. Whistle is blown. And it's going to stay with Winthrop as they enter Swampscott's territory. Joey, Swampscott has definitely had numerous chances to throw it in after going off of Winthrop.
I'm going to have to agree with you there, Josh. The amount of times they've had to be able to get that ball in there is absurd to the amount of times that Winthrop has had to get it in for Swampscott. And
it's going to be Faber with the throw-in. And it's going to go way offsides. Olberg with the hands-on. Whistle is blown, and it's going to be I believe it's going to be a corner kick for Winthrop as it crossed the back line. And it will be a corner kick for Winthrop as we're 24 minutes into the first half. Carrying out the kick is going to be Rodriguez. Rodriguez with Olberg with the tip. As I can't finish an early sentence, Rodriguez with the attempt of corner kick unsuccessful with the hands of Olberg trying to keep it out. And now it's a pass over to Sawson. Sawson with a pass over to Spelios. Spelios trying to keep it in, unsuccessful, but it's going to be in Winthrop's end. Winthrop's going to have to retrace their steps from going back to where they started from. And it's going to stay with the Swampscott, poked right back by Muja. And a pass over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez going down the line, trying to get it. Gets nowhere, but over and out off of the big blue.
We're going to be seeing a corner kick here now from Winthrop after that hit out from one of the Swampscott players. They did have a chance to score, but Swampscott's defense was just too good there for a moment, but now they have a chance again.
And with that, it's going to be still 0-0 as the 25th minute rolls around. And I believe 14 minutes left in the first half. Still, Winthrop and Swampscott both tied at 0. And carrying out the goal is going to be, looks like number 7 or 17. And it's actually, I've seen the number, it's going to be number 7. It's going to be Sargnalia. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that last name wrong. As we wait for the officials to give the A-OK to start. And with that, the kick from Sarnaglia going high up, ain't gonna be getting, actually might have had a chance, but unsuccessful as the save by Olberg. Olberg's, I believe, 7th or 8th save of the first half.
Olberg just in the right corner at the right time was able to stop that header from going in.
And it's gonna be a header off of Raymond. Both Raymond and Croft flying for the ball. As I believe it's going to be Winthrop's ball, and it will. It's going to be a throw-in from Kai Faber. Faber with the throw-in goes off the leg of number 19, but it's going to be thrown right back in. Not even a second later, kicked out by Winthrop. With that, it's going to stay with the big blue in Winthrop's own end. Passed over to Shub. Shub still with possession of the ball after being tried to get it stolen from him. And it's going to be a high kick up from Bailey. Excuse me, that's actually going to be a high kick up from Kimbrough over to Sawson. It's going to be passed over to Kimbrough. And with that, a pass over to Raymond. Raymond with the shot, and it's saved. That almost an attempted goal made by Kimbrough, saved by the goaltender. And with that, the tender going with a high kick off the head. That's actually going to go off the head of Kimbrough's. Pass from Arendono over to Shub. Shub. Pass back to Shub, sorry, as their communications has been lost. And it's going to be Shub still with the ball, trying to find an open teammate. Almost finds Raymond. And it's going to be a high kick up from Winthrop, going out of bounds once again. And it's going to be a possession stolen from Winthrop after being stolen by Henry Ramos. Henry Ramos steals it right back. Pass from Spelios over to Rendono. A high kick up, almost going past the goaltender as Sawson had a chance to get it behind him. Unsuccessful. It's a high kick from the goaltender. And Swampscott is going to have possession of the ball, and a high kick from Oberg as an attempted header from Winthrop is unsuccessful. And with that, an attempted pass unsuccessful as it gets taken right back to Rendono. And with that, it's going to be kicked right out of bounds once again by Winthrop. Swampscott is going to have another chance with the ball, throwing it right back in. I believe that's over to Simon Ramos, and it's going to be another high kick up from Winthrop. As it's going to be Kimbrough and Raymond fighting for the ball. Winthrop has possession, trying to get it out of their own zone. As it's going to be stolen by Pittman. Passed over to Spelios. Spelios with a high kick. Goes straight off the head of Winthrop. Kimbrough stole the ball for Swampscott. It's going to be Shub. Pass over to Spelios. Pass back over to Henry Ramos. Over to Kimbrough. Kimbrough over to Raymond. Raymond finds Spelios. Spelios is in the background. Stopped by Spelios. Raymond with the shot. Gets off the leg. And it's going to be Kimbrough. Kimbrough with the high kick goes off the leg of a Winthrop contender. It's going to be Shub with the ball. Whistle is blown. It's going to be a shove called on number 10, Rodriguez.
Now the other number 10, Arredondo, will be taking it.
That'll be correct, as we're 35 seconds over the 30-minute mark of the first half. Still 0-0. Now Swampscott has a chance to get their first goal of the night with this one kick. Rendono with the shot, goes a little bit off wide. Saved by Winthrop's goaltender. That's with a high kick from the goaltender. Off the head of Simon Ramos. Winthrop trying to keep it going into Swampscott territory. Goes out of bounds on Swampscott. Winthrop will have the ball nearing Swampscott's territory. And a throw in from number 4, Madelone. A high pop-up caught by Oberg, as it looked like it was going to go in the goal, but goes a little bit wide.
The first goal would have been something great here from Winthrop, as it could have been one of the only times another team scores first on Swampscott.
And with that, a heavy kick from Oberg going off the head of Raymond. And it's going to be picked up by Simon Ramos. Over to Rendono. Rendono with the save, keeping it for Swampscott. Over to Raymond. Raymond back over with Ramos, gets kicked out of there from Winthrop. And it's going to go off of Winthrop. Simon Ramos instantly with the throw-in. Once again off of Winthrop. Swampscott staying in Winthrop's territory. Another throw-in from Simon Ramos. And with that, a heavy kick from Winthrop. It's going to be stopped by Simon Ramos. Picked up by Raymond. Excuse me, that's actually going to be picked up by Shub. Shub with the far pass over to Spelios. He's going to make it in time. Winthrop will get the ball. And it's going to be Kai Faber with the ball. Throwing it back in for Winthrop. And Kai Faber with the throw-in. Trying to get it to his teammate. Gets it kicked away by Kimbrough off the chest of Spelios. Pokes right back to Winthrop off the foot of Shub. Poked over to Raymond, off the body of Rendono, over to Spelios. Spelios still fighting for the ball. Passed over to Henry Ramos. Back over to Shub. Shub with the pass over to Raymond. Back over to Shub. There's going to be Pittman with the pass over to Simon Ramos. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in far down from where it went out. And it's going to be pick-up, attempt to pass to Raymond. Over to Sawsons, keeps it from going out. Sawson with the high-up kick, he's caught by the goaltender.
With another close shot there for the Big Blue, that time from Malad Sasson. We could have actually seen the first goal, but I think it will be highly unlikely that we see it in this first half here.
A great header from Kimbrough. It's going to be Simon Ramos trying to keep it in, poked away by Winthrop. It's just him and the goalie, kicked away from the net by Oberg. Oberg tonight having 9 saves thrown in from Winthrop. As Winthrop gets close, kicked away from Matt Pittman. And it's going to be another corner kick for Winthrop as we enter the 35th minute. 5 minutes left in the first half. Still a scoreless game. We've seen multiple opportunities from the Big Blue to score, but both been denied by the goaltender.
That is correct, Josh. Both have been denied from the goaltender, including the most recent being Malad Sasson. I'm going to let you get back to this right now because this could be a goal here.
As it's been denied numerous times. Another attempt went off the leg and caught by Oberg. That is his 10th save of the night. Oberg with the high pop-up kick. And it's going to go over to Sawson, poked away by Winthrop. Shoot, bringing it back for the Big Blue. Over to Rendono. Rendono with the far kick. And it's going to be met up with Sawson. Sawson's there to keep it in. Sawson's fighting for the ball, keeping it down in Winthrop's territory. As it goes out of play off of Winthrop, Swampscott will keep the ball nearing the corner, but it's going to be a throw-in from Sawson.
That will indeed be a throw-in as it was close to a corner. Sasson being able to keep it in after passing multiple plays is going to end up with Simon Ramos.
Ramos with a pass over to his brother, Henry Ramos. Ramos with a far-up kick, going off the head, almost finds the direction of the goal, is unsuccessful. As Kimbrough almost had a chance to score, gets behind Shub, goes over to Henry Ramos where he'll stop it. There's going to be a far-up pass to Spelios. Successful pass to Spelios, but it's going to go right back to Winthrop, and it's brought right back to Swampscott by Henry Ramos. Ramos taking the steal back, passed over to Shub. Shub with a far pass over to Simon Ramos. Simon Ramos still with the ball after being poked away. Over to Pittman. Pittman with an attempt to pass over to Bailey, successful. Over to Henry Ramos. 3:28 left in the first half. And it's going to go far off the head of a Winthrop player. Going to go over to Costa Shub. Shub looking for the chance to get it through, unsuccessful. Shub still with possession of the ball. As of that, it goes off the leg of a Winthrop contender. Swampscott keeps possession of the ball. 3:10 left in the first half, still a scoreless game. Henry Ramos with the throw into the Rendono, stolen by Winthrop. And it's going to be brought back to Swampscott by Simon Ramos. Simon Ramos with a far up kick, trying to get it out of the zone into Winthrop territory. And off the leg of Sawson, keeping it in. Raymond with the high kick up over to Sawson. Sawson bringing it back into center field. An attempted centering pass unsuccessful. And with that, it's going to be a far kick. Simon Ramos turning on the afterburners, trying to get it out of their own zone. Winthrop with the ball, trying to get one chance to score. Goes over, and I don't know where that went to, but it's going to be out off of Winthrop. Swampscott will have the ball in their own end. 2:16 left in the first half, still scoreless, but Swampscott and Winthrop both had numerous opportunities to score.
Oberg will be taking the ball now for a kick. He's either going to go really far and hope that his team could score a goal within these final minutes, or he's going to go short, and that is going to be a long kick.
It's going to be a header off. It's going to be a header off of Bear Sulphur. It goes right back to Kimbrough over to Rendono. Rendona with the far high up kick. And it's Raymond in the background. He gets behind the goalie. And it scores! Jack Raymond with the first goal of the night.
As Jack Raymond, about 4 minutes later, makes me eat my own words how I said there would be no goals in this first half, most likely. That was a great goal there as he was able to get the ball just past the goaltender, whose name we will find out soon, and juke him out just so that he could shoot that in. That was really miraculous there.
And with that, sometimes it's sometimes a little bit difficult to go out far as you're the goalie. Stuff like that can happen at any moment. With that, a minute 34 left in the first. Swampscott with the first goal of the game. And with that, Winthrop is going to start off with the ball. As a little under 90 seconds. And it's going to be Arendona with the stop, keeping it in the own end. Arendona with the ball. It's going to be another shot. And it goes over the net. Actually, it's going to glide over the crossbar. Almost a second goal in a matter of 20 seconds.
A 20-second goal time difference would be insane for Swampscott, as it was the second time I believe it would have happened this season, but we might not be able to see it here tonight.
With that, with that last shot from Arendona, it just grazed over the crossbar, and with that, we're back underway. Whistle is blown. And with that, is going to go right back to Winthrop. Back underway, whistles, plays back underway. Shoop trying to steal it for Swampscott. Winthrop keeping it in. And it's going to be a kick from Henry Ramos. But Winthrop is going to throw it right back in. And with that, it's an attempt to pass. Winthrop trying to get their own goal, goes a little bit farther than anticipated. And ball goes out of bounds off of Winthrop. Simon Ramos with the throw-in. Winthrop trying to look for another shot at a goal. Ball goes over the player that anticipated for. Brings him back a little bit farther off the foot of a Winthrop player. And it's going to be stopped by Spelios. Spelios trying to stop it, gets it kicked far out. And I believe it's going to stay in. I'm not sure if it went over the fence. Most likely did, but with that, it's going to be thrown right back in by Winthrop, wasting no time. It's going to be passed over to Kai Faber off the head of Pittman. And with that, it's going to be the end of the first period. Swampscott getting the first goal late in the first half. And with that, it has been a magnificent game so far. Both teams have went back and forth trying to score. Olberg already with 11 or 12 saves. And we are back for second half action. Swampscott up by 1 after the first goal made by Jack Raymond. Winthrop still looking for their first goal of the night. Hopefully they can get it in this second half.
That is correct, Josh, as now I will be doing this part, the most talking for the rest of the game here. As we're going to be seeing immediately Simon Ramos take the ball. He's going to pass it over to Shub. Shub looking for a teammate, eventually is able to find one. Specifically, that is going to be Arredondo. Passing it way up there, almost to Kimbrough. It actually makes its way over to the only goal scorer of this game, Jack Raymond, as the ball gets so close. Yet again, there was multiple opportunities there, as the shot on goal was hard to see there for a second which player it was, but the ball is going to end up with Shub eventually. As the ball is over to Arredondo, he kicks it up in the air, far and high. As Kimbrough almost has a chance to take it, we're going to be seeing Jackson Faber take the ball. That is the name of the goaltender. As the ball is up, it's going to eventually make its way to Malad Sasson. Malad Sasson being able to dodge one of the players coming at him, passes it over to Ramos. Ramos over to Arredondo. Arredondo making it between two players, passes over to Raymond. Raymond looking for Arredondo, doesn't find him, but Winthrop does. As Malad Sasson takes the ball again, he's going to kick it out after Kimbrough missed the save. As number 4 from the Winthrop Vikings, Matt Alone is going to take the ball. Ball was out on Winthrop. As we're going to be seeing over here in the corner now, there's multiple players with both from Winthrop and Swampscott as the ball makes its way up. Sorry, that was Pittman. Pittman takes it and tries to pass over to Ramos, but the ball is going to go out on Winthrop. With a throw in from Simon Ramos, we're able to see right before a whistle gets called, Raymond had the ball. As now Yeeps, the captain, is going to take the ball. He's winding up for a kick and he finds it. And it's all the way across and it goes out yet again. As Madalone's going to be throwing it in. Throws it far up, and it's going to get headed by a Swampscott player. As Arredondo takes the ball for charge, he's going to pass it way upfield, but it's going to be blocked by Kai Faber, and it's going to go back to Arredondo. Return to sender. As eventually Winthrop gets the ball, they're able to pass it up, and it's almost a Ramos. Ramos turning on the engines is going to be making his way up, but it was not fast enough as Muja took the ball, and a whistle's blown.
Sorry, we speak at the same exact time. It's like we know what we're going to say. Whistle's blown. Multiple Winthrop fans are upset, especially the players being called offside.
As Olberg's getting ready, still with 10 saves, he's going to be kicking the ball about 50 yards. As a header there from Raymond was pretty good to give it over to Kimbrough, but the ball is going to be taken by Winthrop. As the ball is now going to be with number 7, Sarnaglia. He's going to be going over to the other number 7, Simon Ramos, as a whistle's blown for unsportsmanlike conduct.
That looks like it's going to be a kick from
Rodriguez, but it's going to go over.
I would technically call that a field goal rather than a goal kick.
You are correct. That was a field goal, so 2 points should be added on the board. Let's see if we can get that to happen.
Field goal's 3, Joey. But other than that, Olberg has the ball, kicks it over to Pittman, and we're back underway.
as now we're going to be seeing Swampscott move up with the ball. Sorry there, as you were correct, it was 3 points. I meant it would be a 2-point difference, but the ball's going to go out, and we're now going to be seeing a throw in here from, sorry, it's very hard to see the numbers, but a throw in here from one of the Winthrop players. As Yepis is going to take the ball and throw it in. He's going to be able to give it over to Swampscott on accident, but they're just going to take it right back before Arredondo takes the ball. He kicks the ball up, hopefully able to get it over to Raymond, but unsuccessful, as the ball eventually will end up back with Swampscott as Shub passes over to Sasson. Sasson making his way up to Kimbrough. Kimbrough over to Ramos, Simon Ramos specifically. Ball's up in the air for just a short time before Milad Sasson takes it again. Milad Sasson over to Kimbrough. Kimbrough looking for someone, finds Raymond. Raymond looking for someone yet again, finds Shub. Shub trying to get the ball into the area that it needs to be. Finds Simon Ramos. Simon Ramos over to Kimbrough. Kimbrough accidentally gives the ball over to Winthrop. Simon Ramos almost steals it back, but not Seron, but Mujo was just able to get it past.
A great header by Pittman.
As a great header there from Pittman was able to stop them for just a few seconds. Winthrop has the ball again. As the ball almost goes out, but is saved by one of the players, and it's saved yet again as Spelios takes the ball and passes it over to Shub. Shub looking for a place to find it. Is able to get it, is able to get one of the players to trip over the ball and pass it over to Milad Sasson. Milad Sasson able to get it up far, passes over to Kimbrough. James Kimbrough now looking for someone to pass to, finds Raymond. Raymond now looking for an opportunity to score a goal or just a player to pass to. Almost finds the opportunity, but it just goes way too far left.
A great opportunity by Raymond, almost for a second goal. Looks like he was trying to find a teammate, but it wasn't able as it was a little bit too high and too far away.
As now we're going to be seeing a kick from Jackson Faber. He's probably going to be kicking it long. The ball eventually ends up with Swampscott as Spelios is going to be taking it. Spelios passes it back over to Shub. Shub looking for a player, passes it yet again backwards over to Bailey, and Henry Ramos is going to take the ball. As Henry Ramos accidentally lets the ball go out, the ball's going to be thrown in by Winthrop Faber, specifically Kai Faber. As Kai Faber throws the ball up, Henry Ramos almost took it again, but it's going to be booted by Arredondo. Arredondo booting it, almost gives it over to Raymond, but it's missed and it's unsuccessful. But Arredondo's going to come up quick and close and take the ball and give it over to Spelios. Spelios over to Sasson. Sasson looking for a player to find, being guarded by two. Finds Shub. Shub over yet again to Arredondo. Arredondo's able to pass it up, and he almost accidentally gives it to Winthrop. And a pass there from Raymond over to Spelios was unsuccessful as the ball's going to be thrown in from Winthrop. The ball's going to end up with Texiera. As now Spelios is going to have the ball. Spelios is going to be giving it over to Arredondo, but Winthrop takes it. Shub right there for the ball, almost gets it, but Henry Ramos gets to it first and gets through two players. Kicks it up over to Spelios. Spelios back. Multiple headers and kicks in the air as Shub is able to end that by passing it over to Spelios. Spelios to Henry Ramos. Henry Ramos way back to the 40-yard line with Bailey. Bailey over to Pittman. Pittman over to Ramos. Simon Ramos. Simon Ramos over to Kimbrough. Back to Simon Ramos. Stolen by Winthrop, and it's going to almost go into the stands and go out for a throw in here from Milad Sasson. Josh, with the amount of back and forth that has already happened on the side of Winthrop, do you think we could be seeing a goal in just the next few moments?
Most likely, but honestly, I think from the recent call by Winthrop, it's going to be made by the Big Blue once again. If not, it will be with Winthrop tying the game up once again. But as we're over 10 minutes into the second half. Still, Swampscott up by 1. It's still a possibility Winthrop has a chance to score.
As an opportunity to score presents itself right now, Arredondo's kick is up, and it's over to a player, and oh, just in the nick of time, Jackson Faber saves it before Matt Pittman can get to it. With Jackson Faber saving it, that is going to be, I think, his 7th of the night. As the pass over to Winthrop is going to prove successful as multiple players hit it. We had over to Shub over to Spelios, Spelios over to Arredondo, Arredondo up over to Kimbrough. Ball's kicked away from Kimbrough, Kimbrough over to Arredondo, Arredondo over to Raymond. Raymond finds yet again Arredondo as the ball's up, and it's going to be grabbed by Jackson Faber. Jackson Faber now with 8 saves. Almost catching up to Olberg, as yet again Olberg has 10 and hasn't gotten one more since the beginning of the second half. That just shows how good Swampscott's been playing recently. As Swampscott's able to find people to pass to, we end up with Shub. Shub's looking for someone right now, and he's looking at Malad Sasson, it seems, but he's going to be passing it back, tricking the opponents. It's going to be over to Pittman. Pittman to Ramos. Ramos, the ball is going to go out on Winthrop, as Ramos is actually going to be throwing it in, I think. Winthrop is going to be throwing it in. Specifically number 4, Madelone. Madelone throwing it in. Intended target did not receive. And it's going to go out again on Swampscott. I believe Madelone might be throwing it in yet again here. Sorry, not Madelone. That's going to be Kai Faber. As this is going to be a kick. And the kick is up. And Swampscott's going to stop it. As a nasty header there from Shub was able to get rid of that ball. Matt Pittman. As Pittman was the header, not Shub. Seems as if we're going to be seeing another kick here, this time from a different player, Sarnaglia. Ball's going to be over there, and Bailey's going to be able to kick it out. Bailey kicking it up. It's going to be taken by Winthrop again, as multiple nasty headers are back-to-back as they go 10 yards each with the headers. As the ball is basically stuck in this one place on the sideline, it can't really get up anywhere. As it's still between just the same players. Shub's going to take it and pass it back. It's going to be passed back over to Pittman, as Pittman passes over to Simon Ramos, and the ball's going to go out again. Simon Ramos throws it in. Almost throws it at Malad Sasson, but we're going to be seeing Raymond take it and pass it over to Arredondo. Arredondo passed up to Shub. Proved successful as the pass he's going to be giving over to Spelios. Eventually the ball's going to end up with Arredondo, though, as Arredondo passes to Sasson. Sasson passes back to Shub. Shub passes way far up over to Simon Ramos, hopefully looking for an opportunity for him to score a goal or at least get somewhere, as the ball is going to go. That's going to be a corner kick, I do believe.
I believe so, but honestly, I've seen the great precision by the Winthrop player. It intends to kick it out, so the whistle stops, hits off the post, and saves it from going out of bounds, going outside the fence. But other than that, Swampscott's been doing a really good job going back and forth with offense, as we look like it might have another shot at goal, but it missed.
As we now just saw the classic corner kick from Swampscott, we're going to be seeing another one here momentarily, as that's going to be the 9th save for Jackson Faber.
And it looks like it was off the head of number 10 of Winthrop, picked up by Spelios.
As the ball's going to be making its way along the sideline, nearing Swampscott's side by its own players. Henry Ramos kicks to Bailey. Bailey back to Henry Ramos. Henry Ramos now over to Shub. Shub looking for a player, staring down Sasson, passes past him. Missing the pass and accidentally gives it to Sarnaglia. Scarnaglia making his way up. Assassin right behind him with Simon Ramos. Now face to face. Simon Ramos kicks the ball up and it's gonna go out. As Winthrop now has a chance to throw it in. Matalone here with the throw in. Another whistle's blown. It was a sub in, so Julian Flack has come into the game now. As the ball's gonna be intended target isn't gonna be found. We now see Bailey kicking it up and over. Kimbrough making the ball his, is trying to just get it out of the area of Winthrop's little 3 players. But now it's all the way on the other side of the field, close to Swampscott kicking it out. It's gonna be kicked out by Winthrop. Olberg's now gonna take it.
Olberg definitely having a great game tonight, having almost over 13 saves in the beginning of the first half. Not so far with one at the beginning or as of right now in the second, but still doing a magnificent job. As it pass over to Rendono, it's almost to the goalie, out of the hands of the tender, but whistle is blown.
Whistle is going to be blown because we just saw Arredondo accidentally run into the goalie, hitting it out of his hands. As the ball is so close to the goal now, there's a chance here as Raymond passes it over. The ball's going to go out for a throw-in. Throw-in's going to be over to Sod. As now we just saw the ball go out on Kimbrough. The ball close now. They now have both Kimbrough and Jackson Faber have the same number of goals goals saved. That is going to be 10 for each player. As now number 10 is going to be taking it. That is Rodriguez. It's going to be stopped by Shub, but Shub is not going to be able to stop Bayer Stouffer. As the ball's going to be up, Bailey kicks it out. Ball's going to be thrown in by Kai Faber. Kai Faber throws it in, And it's going to be kicked by number 21, who is unfortunately not on our roster, but Charlie Olberg now being Jackson Faber for goals, now has 11 to the Faber 10. As the ball is now in the middle of the field, we're going to be seeing Bayer Stouffer take the ball up again. As the ball goes out, it's going to be out on Winthrop because Henry Ramos is going to throw it in. Throws it in over to Shub. Shub back to Henry Ramos. Henry Ramos able to make the ball go up more. Gets eventually stopped yet again by Winthrop. As Arredondo with a head whip to the ball, something that I have personally never seen before, is able to get the ball out of there just for a few seconds before Winthrop takes it back. This ball's going to be going out on Swampscott.
Swampscott definitely has the upper hand with offense and defense. They are playing on their home turfs. They know this place like the back of their hand. So they were lucky with that one save recently as it went over and out of play.
As we're going to be seeing a kick here, I do believe. This kick is going to be performed by Henry Ramos. Henry Ramos kicking the ball up more. Finds many players, but those players are from Winthrop. As Bayer Stouffer takes the ball yet again, it's going to eventually end up back with Shub. Shub over to Julian Flack. Flack accidentally gives up the ball. He gave up the ball to Saron, but Saron tried to go for the goal but was unable to do so as it went too far left. as he's going to be winding up for the kick now. He's going to be finding the intended target, telling some players to move left, some players to move right. Intended target found. Intended target being Shub. It's going to eventually end up with Arredondo after a header, as the whistle's going to be blown. Something's happening here, but I believe it is a free kick for Arredondo, as he can kick it over to Shub. Shub's going to kick it back to Arredondo, who's going to be able to make his way up many, many yards before it accidentally gets given up over to Winthrop. And now it's back with Swampscott, back with Winthrop. Winthrop not ready to give up yet. With 20 minutes left in the game, we could still be seeing a goal here, as that is going to be the 12th save for Earlberg. As eventually it's yet again going to end up with Winthrop. Swampscott's going to take it after Kimbrough kicks it through one's legs. Winthrop yet again with the ball, but Kimbrough's on his tail as the ball goes out. Ball's going to go out on Winthrop, as now we just saw Kimbrough throw it in. That's intended for Shub, as Kimbrough throws it in again, this time over to Arredondo. Arredondo with a nasty boot kicks it over to Spelios. Spelios with a header accidentally gives it up to Winthrop. As Omar is going to be trying to kick it up far, it's eventually going to be back to him after Swampscott kicks it back. Back over to Bayer-Stouffer, though, as the ball's going to be moving up along the side. The ball moving up along the side because of number 21, as a police car pulls in on the background. As Oberg now takes the ball yet again. Oberg winding up the kick, eventually is able to get it over to a Swampscott player, that player being Shub. And then it's going to be back over to Raymond. Raymond finding Arredondo, the ball's going to roll out. This is going to be a corner kick. With both Arredondo and Raymond, we're going to be seeing the classic Swampscott corner kick, one to another, and another, and then it's going to be far into the shot on goal. It is saved, but not by the goalie, by one of the defenders.
And with that, the ball goes back over in between the goalposts again.
It did go in between the goalposts, that is correct, Josh, but we're going to be seeing Jackson Faber kick the ball now. As Arredondo with a header there, he's able to get the ball over to Swampscott, but it's going to go back to Winthrop. As Vlad Sasson tries to stop the players of Winthrop getting up. We're going to be seeing that not happen, as the ball is actually going to go back into Winthrop's territory. Just back and forth right now as Arredondo is on the tail of Winthrop, many players. Kimbrough straight chasing after Sarangalia like a dog chasing after meat. The ball's going to end up with Shub. Shub's going to be able to get the ball over as the whistle's blown because Shub had many players of some Swampscott had fallen.
Swampscott's definitely doing a great job holding their defensive ground, as I believe we're going to be 15 minutes until the end, as we're just entering the 64th minute of this game. Swampscott still up 1-0 against Winthrop. And with that, we're going to have Shub with a high far kick.
As the ball is going to be taken by Arredondo over to Henry Ramos. Henry Ramos accidentally gives it back over to Winthrop, but the ball's going to be taken yet again by Swampscott. This time it's going to be Arredondo passing over, or at least trying to, but being stopped immediately as the ball just ends up back with him. As now Winthrop yet again has it, as Bayer-Stouffer is going to pass it over to a teammate on the sideline. He looked for number 10, and eventually the ball found him. That is Rodriguez. Rodriguez eventually gives the ball over to Muja. Muja back to Rodriguez. Rodriguez over to Saron. Saron up, and it's given to Swampscott. Now Arredondo has the ball. Arredondo with the ball is able to pass it up more and over to Kimbrough, but the ball is going to go out as Kimbrough's getting ready for his throw-in. As the ball's now up more, we're going to be seeing it in Swampscott's territory. Bailey's going to be trying to kick it out of there as it's going to go to Simon Ramos. Simon Ramos with the ball, able to get it over to Spelios. Spelios now passing it up and over. We can see Raymond possibly looking for the second goal of the game, and the only goal scorer almost gets it, and it is going to be the 11th save from Jackson Faber as the ball doesn't go out this time. Yet the ball is still going to be with Winthrop.
Is that great hustle by Raymond and the Big Blue trying to get down into this Winthrop's territory, and a great save by Jackson Faber with that. If he was a second late with that save, he would have been 2-0 Big Blue.
As the ball now thrown in by a Winthrop player, it's going to be making its way up as Sasson takes the ball only for just a second, as he's now yet again on the ball with Arredondo. Arredondo does not receive the ball from the player, as the ball is actually going to be stolen by Shub after a pass over to Texiera. But only for a few seconds as Winthrop takes it again. Oberg is going to be kicking the ball out of there, saving it technically now for the 13th time of the game. As the ball is going to be picked up, and we're going to be seeing Madelone throw it in. Madelone throwing it in, finds a player for a header. The ball is going to be given over to number 10 being Rodriguez. Rodriguez kicks it up, and it's over to Yepes, and Yepes is over to many players. The ball eventually ends up with Saron as a whistle's blown. Shub's going to hit it with a header.
It looks like with that it's going to be another free kick for Winthrop.
With this free kick, this could be their goal to tie the game now. Only a chance, though, no guarantee.
With each game, it's 50-50. If you score, if you don't. But I believe it's going to be a timeout called on Winthrop.
As the timeout there by Winthrop was just called, as Josh had just said, it should only last for about 30 seconds. We'll be seeing you back momentarily. And we're back as we are now going to be actually seeing the kick here. And it's off. The kick there is not going to be proven well as that kick from Sarangalia is going to end up just being given over to the Big Blue.
And another save by Oberg with that after hitting the leg, after hitting it off of his leg, hitting it back onto the leg of a Winthrop contender.
The ball rolled out, and now he's ready for the kick. As the kick is off, it's going to be over to Malad Sasson eventually, as Malad Sasson's able to get it over to Arredondo. Arredondo's going to be able to kick it up, trying to get it over to Spelios, but the ball is going to roll out. And Spelios is going to be throwing it in. Spelios over to Arredondo. Arredondo to Shub. Shub now looking for a teammate. Finds one, that being Sasson. Sasson looking for a teammate yet again, now finds Shub. Shub stopping the ball before it goes out, looking for someone to pass to. Passes over to Spelios. Spelios accidentally lets the ball go between his legs. The ball's gonna almost go over to Sasson, but Winthrop now has it. Winthrop now has a chance to get the ball up. As now Simon Ramos sprinting after the ball that way that Sarangalia can't get it. The ball's gonna be going out. As number 10 almost had a chance to score there. Rodriguez with a very good chance to score. Probably could have done so if it wasn't blocked by a Swampscott player. The ball now with Arredondo over to Spelios. Spelios hits it between the legs of O'Mara.
And with that, Raymond has another shot, trying to look for it. Does, but it's going to go right between the field goal again. If this was football, Swampscott would be up by way more points.
It would be up by, I do believe, 6 points exact.
And it's going to be a blackout party here down at the field. I believe the DPW set a timer on the lights. We'll get that right back up with it.
As now we can truly say that this game is dark as night.
I say at this time with the Halloween season starting to become, as today's October 1st.
Please don't panic. The lights will be coming back on momentarily.
As the lights will be coming back on momentarily, but still, honestly, I think it's a good time to tell spooky stories with this lighting since it's the beginning of October. But other than that, still 2-1. Honestly, it's kind of terrifying seeing the scoreboard just lit up and everything else.
Once upon a time, I rang this doorbell, and they gave me an apple. Scary stories indeed.
And now as everybody's turning on their flashlights,
just so they can see where they're going and who they're possibly going to be bumping into. This game will be stopped, and we will be having a delay of game now, only for a few minutes, I do believe. So
this usually never happened. Usually they flash on and off.
I don't think this ever has happened, as you can even see people on the field with flashlights. I do believe now would be a good time to grab a snack or a drink, as this is the last 9 minutes of this game.
And with that, actually, we should take this time to say, if you are not subscribed yet, follow and subscribe to our Swampscott Big Athletics so you never miss a live stream. And to be notified when we are live, go follow our Instagram at Swampscott_TV. Still 1-0, 2 seconds in with 8:58 left in the game. Swampscott still up by 1. And there we go. As I believe, as the lights are back on, we are back underway.
Let there be light, as the lights have just, as Josh said, have just come back on. We are now out of the darkness forever, as we assume, as the ball is going to be taken there from Jackson Faber.
And with that, they're going to resume the game back with Jackson Faber kicking it for Winthrop.
As the ball is able to make its way up, Henry Ramos is going to take it. Henry Ramos over to Shub. Shub finds Arredondo. Arredondo looking at Sasson. Sasson's going to be able to receive the ball. After multiple players try to block him, the ball's going to go out after a pass from Sasson because it just went a little bit too far. As the throw in here is going to be from Matalone. Matalone tried to find someone but ended up not doing so, as Simon Ramos is able to head it back over to Swampscott. As Arredondo tries to kick it over to one of the players, it's going to be unsuccessful, but Henry Ramos will receive it after a kick from Winthrop. Kimbrough finds the ball after Henry Ramos' pass. But it's yet again going to be given back to Winthrop this time. Saren's going to have it as Saren finds Sasson apparently. A whistle's going to be blown.
And with that, I believe it's going to be another free kick for Winthrop as everybody starts to head down to one half of the field.
As Josh is correct, this will be another free kick from Winthrop as this is a chance to tie the game now 1-1. I don't know if it will happen, but we could be seeing it right here, right now. With a possibility now as it got through Swampscott's defensive line. It's going to go in. That is going to be a strange number there as we're going to be seeing that goal be confirmed in just a second now.
It is going to go off at number 10, which that is going to be
Rodriguez. Rodriguez getting the goal, tying it up 1-1, Swampscott and Winthrop. We now have to see a goal here from either team in the next 7 minutes to prevent this game going into overtime, which might not happen as the goals have been 40 minutes apart.
And with that, a great goal by Fabiano Rodriguez. With that, Swampscott has to step up their A game, try to get another goal within 7 minutes. If not, we're going to be here for a little bit longer.
As Sasson kicks the ball up over to Spelios, they could be seeing this goal actually right here, right now. Spelios tries to find someone to pass to, hits it off over, and it's going to be a throw-in there as a strategy there from Spelios was very smart as intended pass over to number 11. Number 11, Raymond there. It didn't go so well as the ball ends up with Arredondo. Arredondo over to Shub. Shub with the ball now after Arredondo trips. Spelios is able to almost pass it over to number 11, Raymond. Raymond almost received as well, but the ball just went too high as Jackson Faber is going to be kicking it off.
Has a little bit too much fuel behind that kick.
As the ball now is being chased by many players right now. Those players closest being are Texiera and Henry Ramos. The ball's going to be up and close and personal with the goalie, but Simon Ramos is going to be able to get that out of there. Over to Raymond with Ramos. Raymond gets the ball up past two of the players, and the whistle's going to be blown.
If that is going to be another, I believe it's going to be another free kick for Winthrop. I believe their 4th of the night, but it's not going to be as close as the goal as last time.
As it was at the 30-yard line for Winthrop, it didn't seem as if, as Josh said, as close as last time, and I do believe it was the 4th. Ball almost going out there, but number 7 facing the world, able to get it past 3 players, as they have definitely started their game, both Luja and Sarnaglia doing amazing things here. As the ball goes in, that is going to be another goal. This one is going to be from Sarnaglia, number 7, I do believe. As the stands are going to go insanely wild. That was not Sarnaglia, sorry, that was Muja with the goal. That is going to be 2-1 in the goal. It was a difference of, I believe, 3 or 2 minutes. As a coincidence here, they're both even numbers, 10 apart in the 10s, 10 and 20, having the only goals of the game, starting with 1 and 2. As another free kick, the 5th one of the night here. This time it's going to be by Kai Faber. As these are the final minutes of this half, Swampscott may not be able to score, but they do have a chance and an opportunity to do so.
That's right, Joey. Still, it's 5 minutes left. The referees are going to have the time on their watches and keep it themselves. Swampscott still has those 5 minutes left to get a goal in and bring it into overtime. If not, though, it would be the end with Winthrop winning the game 2-1.
As this is going to be a throw-in here. This time it's going to be from Madelone throwing the ball and tries to find a player, that player being Saron, but it's fine. Simon Ramos is able to kick it up over to Raymond. Raymond takes the ball, passes it over to Arredondo. Arredondo way up along, tries to get it over to his teammate Kimbrough. Kimbrough's able to get it before, Kimbrough's able to get it before Kai Faber can get it. He's gonna pass it back over to Shub as a slide tackle, which is legal, will happen. As Henry Ramos is gonna be kicking the ball up.
Ramos has the opportunity now to tie it up for the Big Blue. It's a lot of pressure for Ramos.
That wasn't in play. He was just kicking it up and over to Arredondo, so Arredondo could get a free kick. Now this is on the 20-yard line, but it still is 30 yards away from the goal. As it almost goes in, Kimbrough just kicks it too far with his foot. As the ball goes out, we're going to be seeing the goalie, Jackson Faber, take the ball. Jackson Faber positioning the ball right on the B there. He's going to wind up his kick, find his target, and he's going to shoot for it. As he misses his target completely on accident, Henry Ramos kicks the ball up, and it's going to go back and forth now. Going back and forth with Arredondo. The ball's going to be taken by many of the players. As the ball is going to be taken, this time by Shub. It's going to go almost out as we just saw Winthrop kick it up as Matt Pittman takes the ball. As Bailey is going to be right there with Ramos. Ramos is going to be throwing it in. As Henry Ramos right there with the ball. It's going to be led up by Muja. Muja's able to get the ball over there, but Olberg saves it for the 15th time of the night, possibly being the last time.
A great save by Olberg.
As our clocks do say that it has been over 80 minutes. For the refs, it has not, as the clock will definitely be a little bit off as they estimate their own time, as Josh had said earlier. We have Raymond with the ball, getting very close over to Winthrop's side. Winthrop takes the ball. Arredondo now with the ball after Swampscott took it back. Gonna try to kick it up, but it's gonna be another save this time from Jackson Faber, his 14th of the night. One less than Charlie Olberg. It's gonna go out now as Simon Ramos throws it in. Spelios is looking for someone or something to get it over to. That someone is going to eventually end up being Malad Sasson as the ball's going to roll out on Winthrop. Sasson's ready to throw it in. He's looking for someone, and he's going to toss it. Small toss, but Sasson ends up back with it. As Sasson and Raymond debate who they're going to be giving it over to. The ball's up in the air. Back over to Raymond. Back with multiple of the Winthrop players heading back to back. The last one being Madelone. Ball's gonna end up with Arredondo. As Arredondo's gonna be blocked by 3 players. It's gonna be given over to Henry Ramos. Henry Ramos with a straight boot. Tries to get over to Raymond for the header goal. Doesn't do so. As the ball's gonna end up with Sasson. As the ball's making its way up and over into Swampscott side, which is not a good thing. Simon Ramos is able to get it back.
Great way to use head, but the wrong timing.
As Shub was able to take one to the head, it's going to be all the way over to Swampscott's side yet again. Olberg is going to take the ball for his quote-unquote 16th save for the night. As Shub is right there with the ball. Shub's looking for someone, and he doesn't find anyone because Winthrop had too many players around him at that time for him to be able to get the ball. As Winthrop is just on the top of their game now, I think this might be it for Swampscott. As the clock is way over the 80 minutes we thought there would have previously been. We have a free kick here. is up and over now. We're able to see it get again in Winthrop's side. As Winthrop is able to get it over to multiple players, Swampscott's going to take it again. As yet again, we're going to be seeing a throw in here. Henry Ramos, excellent throw in over to Shub. That is going to be the end of the game. Final Fiend. As the end of the game now, with the score being 2-1, Winthrop, another tragic loss for Swampscott as a home game, as last time they had lost as well. We're now going to be seeing the end of the game here, as I had just said. There's no more, this is it. And make sure to follow us on our YouTube channel being Swampscott Big Blue Athletics, and make sure to like, turn on all notifications so that you're alerted whenever we go live for any sort of sport. And make sure to follow us on Instagram at Swampscott_TV. And Josh has some final words for us.
Definitely. Sorry, I ran out of breath as something went wrong. But other than that, it's been a great game from the Big Blue. They showed off a great time. They showed off great offense and defense, but Winthrop came on top with this one. And like Joey said, make sure to do all that. And with that, we'll see you next week, as this is the final game we have for the few coming days is Rosh Hashanah. And we'll see you next week.